All right. Hey there, guys. This is meteorologist Ben Peine. Christina Sanjuan, meteorologist Christina Sanjuan will be joining me here in a little bit. We'll wait for some folks to get on board, but want to get out ahead of the storms that are starting to move into the region. As promised, this is an Extol weather extra with myself and again, meteorologist Christina Sanjuan that'll be on here in just a second. There are some storms that are starting to blossom in southern Indiana. We think this is the beginning of what will be a pretty busy and active weather pattern here over the next couple of hours over southern Indiana first, and then this will move into Kentucky, I'd say after around 4 to 5 o'clock. So we're likely going to see a severe thunderstorm watch out here pretty soon. There's already a severe thunderstorm watch out for Carroll County, Kentucky, and that goes up towards Cincinnati. But starting to see some thunderstorms blossom just up to the north of Bedford right now, and then out to the west, out towards Washington, Indiana, and also just north of Highway 50 and near Seymour, Indiana. So far, no warnings on this, but again, we think at any time there will be a severe thunderstorm watch that will be issued. So the main threat here for today is going to be the potential for some damaging straight line wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour, the potential for some large hail as well, some torrential rain, and then some frequent lightning too. So this is likely going to be over the next 2 to 3 hours is kind of our main event. And then that could last, of course, longer over parts of Kentucky. And then, again, waiting on the watch. This is a special weather statement. This isn't actually a warning. This shows that the storm is moving off to the east and southeast at around 40 miles per hour, possibility of about quarter-size hail, and maximum wind gusts at about 50 miles per hour. Again, that's north of Bedford, Indiana. I'll go ahead and clear that out. There and click off of that, and we should be able to get that out of the way. There we go. I'm going to get off of the special weather statements, but if any warnings do pop up, they'll pop up right here on the radar screen. So these showers and thunderstorms, again, moving off to the east and southeast at about 35 to 40 miles per hour, and are going to continue to be exploding in what is a fairly volatile atmosphere. I mean, there's just a ton of tropical energy out there. Dew points are around 75 to 80 degrees. This is kind of off the charts as far as dew points. If you'd like to like or share or subscribe or follow, we appreciate that. And also spreading the word that we are on here live, and we'll have you covered here throughout southern Indiana and perhaps beyond as well. So we're getting going here this morning, and again, still wait for some folks to get on board. Looking very dark in downtown Bedford, but no rain there just yet. We appreciate that report there from Dennis Gregory. And Christina, I see you there. Are you ready to go? All right, she's got a thumbs up here. So introducing to the
Hey there.
stage here with me, there's Christina Sanjuan. So again,
Yeah,
about an
hey, let me
80% chance.
know if you
Yeah,
can hear me okay there.
I can hear you. Yep, we got you.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Yep.
All right. Good to go.
So
Perfect.
the Storm Prediction Center put out a mesoscale discussion for our areas, saying that about an 80% chance of a severe thunderstorm watch coming out, and that typically means there's going to be a severe thunderstorm watch coming out for our area very soon. That'll probably include parts of Kentucky, southern Indiana, here very shortly. So I'll go back to our radar view right here. And so we've got a couple different views. I'm going to remove yours just for a second here and bring mine back to the stage. So we've got a couple different radar products that we're watching. I'm going to bring up the Futurecast just to show you the very latest HRRR high resolution rapid refresh weather model. And so let's bring up the future radar right here. Since we don't have any warnings just yet. Of course, if we get any warnings, we're going to be tracking those warnings and where those storms are going. Let me back this up. So we're here at around 1 p.m. And again, this is the HRRR weather model. This updates every hour, by the way. And so this should give us some pretty good information as it's been ingesting some of the latest data. So maybe a half hour behind or so on its solution. But there you can see the explosive nature of these storms that are going to be firing up. And again, packing a punch, potentially with damaging wind gusts. And not at all going to be surprised if we get some severe thunderstorm warnings, and we can't rule out the potential of a tornado as well. I think that's a very low threat for our area, but something we'll continue to monitor here. But you can see the blue color that's in there. That indicates some hail cores and some damaging wind potential. When we put up the wind gust product here, this should pop up as well. This is just giving us an idea of the potential wind and how fast these winds could get. That shows 58 miles per hour. So 58 or greater is the criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning. 1 inch or larger hail size is the criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning as well. As we look at the reflectivity just means your future radar. A lot of times you'll hear futurecast. This shows it at 5 p.m. starting to move generally out of southern Indiana and into Kentucky around that time. And then here's at around 6 p.m. heading towards the Bluegrass Parkway in central Kentucky. I'm going to bring back up the wind product. And again, these winds could still be packing a punch at around this time. That shows over 50 mile per hour winds. So in this environment, it's not going to be surprising if we do get some damaging wind gusts that could cause some spotty power outages as damage. Around 7 p.m. Here is at around 8 o'clock. And then so as we head towards the evening time, a lot of this is going to settle down, and we've got that much welcomed relief that's going to be on the way. So Christina, I would say overall that model is doing a pretty good job of showing how things are most likely going to start to explode, kind of an explosive atmosphere this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, I know that we've really struggled with, or the models have actually really struggled with this whole event. It's kind of been a mess for us tracking this over the last couple of days. They haven't really been able to get a firm handle on it. And we kind of missed that early round that many of them were trying to show earlier on today. But I mean, once those storms get kicking in this sort of atmosphere, all the fuel is there for them to really blossom. And that's exactly what we're seeing just within the last half hour or so. Those storms up to our northwest beginning to really start to materialize and headed toward the southeast as the time goes along. And as Ben was saying, of course, wind gusts, damaging wind potential going to be our main threat here, but all modes of severe weather also on the table. To be completely honest, though, we can't kind of scoff at any sort of wind threat, because the damaging wind, especially up to about 70 miles per hour, which is possible in many spots, that's going to cause straight line wind damage, going to cause just as much damage as say a very weak tornado would. So nothing to be taken lightly here as those storms begin to blossom and head a little bit closer to our area. Ben, it looks like there is just a advisory for the Columbus area. So definitely starting to see things begin to take off and become a little bit stronger.
Yeah, the beginning of our main event here. And if we look here at the Storm
Prediction Center, a special weather statement.
Yeah, we're going to get so many of those along with warnings this afternoon. But from earlier today, if you guys are watching the Ben at 10 show, east of I-65 is where the orange was. That's level 3 out of 5 in the severe weather risk categories. It's called an enhanced risk. That's been expanded a little farther to the west to include Elizabethtown and Breckinridge County and Meade County in Indiana, and also parts of Clark and Floyd and Harrison counties in Indiana. Everywhere else is under level 2 out of 5 in the severe weather risk categories. And when I break this down a little bit more, kind of qualify this as far as the threats. So that means in that enhanced area, it's a 5% risk of a tornado. That's if you put a 25-mile circle around your house, it's a 5% risk in that brown area. And then the green areas, lower risk of around 2%. And then that red area that you see there, that's a large severe thunderstorm watch box that is off to our east right now. But we do expect that watch to be expanded off to the southwest here with time. And then as we bring up the hail product, pretty much all of our area is in a risk of some hail. It's a 15% risk. And again, that's a 25-mile radius around your house, that a 15% chance that you could have 1 inch or larger hail. And then the wind threat is the greatest threat. That's at a 30% chance of some wind damage in that enhanced risk right there. So that's just kind of breaking down the risk of severe weather from the Storm Prediction Center. Again, it's just been expanded a little bit farther to the west. I'm going to go ahead and bring up the live radar once again. And Christina, you can tell me to shut up whenever if you want to show your radar. Just let me know.
We have the same radar. It's totally fine.
Yeah.
I'm watching out for updates from the National Weather Service. Of course, I'm in the chat with them and just seeing, we like to compare our nerdy brains as meteorologists and see what perhaps someone sees that what we're not. But I will say this is materializing pretty well based off of what the HER was showing in the last couple of runs. So finally kind of getting on board with that. And
getting busier.
Really, becoming a little bit more widespread, just kind of popping off across the area and moving into the Seymour area as we speak. But that'll continue pushing off fairly quickly down to
getting
the
busier
southeast.
here around Highway 50. And we're going to have to watch these little notches here. We'll watch this very closely, but there is just a little bit of rotation there near Bedford, not real strong rotation or anything like that. We can switch back into velocity in different modes here with the radar technology that we have in front of us. But there you can see anywhere from on Highway 50 from Seymour over to Brownstown, Medora, you kind of got a gap there in Bedford with the storm north of you and south of you. There could be the potential of some small hail, and that goes over to Lagodi right now. Let me try to do the distance tool here, see if this will pop up. So this is, just to get your bearings, about 35, 40 miles as the crow flies north of New Albany and not far from Louisville. Of course, 50 miles or so to the northwest of Louisville right there. And let me go ahead and take off that distance tool right there as well. So these are tracking off to the south, I would say east, more east than southeast. And I apologize, Desi's being a little bit loud right now in the background. But all right, let's get.
I don't hear her too much. It's okay.
Oh, good. She's wanting to get outside for whatever reason. But here's what Christina was saying is a special weather statement. And again, this was put out just a little bit earlier for the storm to the northeast of Bedford. Maximum wind gusts around 50 miles per hour, quarter size hail, and moving generally east at around 38 miles per hour. So we're going to
so a special weather statement. You'll hear us probably say that. Oh, sorry, Ben. I'm really bad about talking over people. It's a character flaw here. But the thing, you'll hear us say special weather statement a lot. So basically that's the level down from a severe thunderstorm warning. It means, okay, the winds haven't quite made it to that criteria, which would be 60 mile per hour wind gusts or quarter size hail, which is about 1 inch in diameter. But it's just one level down from the severe thunderstorm warning. So that's what we'll be watching really closely, especially where you see those polygons there as Ben was going over the radar in yellow. We'll continue to watch for the strengthening, but it's not going to take much to see those winds strengthen and make it to that criteria of about 60 mile per hour, which again could certainly cause damage.
For sure. And we've got a couple comments popping in here as well. Stacy says, we'll watch since heading into work at around 3 o'clock, northeastern quarter of Du Bois County. Hopefully it'll move through your area by 3 o'clock. And Beverly Haggis to getting dark in Borden, Indiana. I'm looking out at my weather window 5,000 here in the home studios, and I do see some puffy cumulus clouds, very low clouds. It's a very tropical environment. I mean, I was mentioning earlier here, Christina, that the dew points that measure water content in the air is about as high as it can go in our area. I'm going to bring up quickly the dew point map. And again, this is that tropical air that we have over our area. And again, just 84, if that's correct there.
Oh my gosh.
In Du Bois County, but 81, 79. This is even higher than the Gulf Coast, I would say. I mean, these are
it doesn't really get worse than that.
So that means this atmosphere really doesn't. It is as humid as it can possibly get. And again, that is the fuel for some of these thunderstorms. If you're just popping on, thanks for joining the show here. I'm meteorologist Ben Peine, and this is meteorologist Christina Sanjuan. I'm going to bring up the future radar one more time because I know there's people popping in at different times. Can't stay the whole time. We get it. So I'm going to bring back a look at the HRRR, High Resolution Rapid Refresh Weather Model. It's actually been doing better today than the NAM 3-kilometer weather model. So it's got the activity that's just starting to get going. You can see that it expands, spreads out, gets stronger. This is at 3 p.m. This is at 4 o'clock. So generally speaking, again, over the next couple of hours, this will be our busiest time period. This will be the main event as far as severe weather for southern Indiana for today. And then we got quiet weather for the rest of the week and hopefully for the rest of summertime. But there you can see 5 o'clock starting to move into Metro Louisville in areas off to the south. And then there you can see the storms down towards the Bluegrass Parkway, Central Kentucky, around that time at 6 p.m. And then there's 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, moving closer to the Tennessee state line. So in the evening time, things will be settling down. And I think for much of southern Indiana, we will see the threat diminishing after 5 p.m. And we've got Orleans. What we're looking at, we're talking about it right now. Orleans down in LaRue County. So I was just there at LaRue County at about, I'd say 6 p.m.-ish there for you, Orleans, and Michael Long. Dark to the north and south of us here in Bedford. Thank you for going on live, keeping us informed. I'm looking forward to some nice golfing weather behind the front. I am jealous of Michael Long with American Family Insurance. One of the friends of the program.
Beautiful after this.
And so we're still waiting for the watch to be expanded. I really do think that we will see that severe thunderstorm watch expanding or cover almost all of our area. But as Michael Long was referring to, there's Bedford, Indiana. Again, that's about 50, 60 miles northwest of Louisville. There you can see why he says dark sky north and south of Bedford, because in the northeastern corner of Lawrence County, you've got that cell right there, possibly quarter-inch size hail out of that, some gusty winds. And then down towards Mitchell, south of Bedford, there's also dark skies there. So flanked by some growing thunderstorms there in Lawrence County, and then getting in on that rain. Nothing severe right now, thankfully, around Brownstown and Seymour, up in the Jackson County area and around Medora as well, home with some of the beautiful covered bridges in southern Indiana.
And it'll become a little bit more of a domino effect. I know I'm in Floyd County, so I'm not too far from Borden, where you and Beverly are, but I'm still seeing plenty of peaks of sunshine.
Beverly,
I mean,
Haggis.
Obviously we all felt the mugginess in the air this morning. Didn't see really any moisture when it came to the precipitation, but once the sunshine was popping out, it's still I'm just trying to look through my distant window, but we're still seeing that, and I expect that to change here relatively quickly as well. But also, Ben, you were talking about the dew points and what's making it feel just so tropical outside. You're absolutely correct. Even where there's tropical storm Bertha down there in the Gulf, the dew points there are in the low to middle 70s. And we have dew points around SCF at 81. That might be one of the highest readings that I've seen for our area, Ben.
Certainly, yeah. 80 is about max, and we're seeing a couple of spots, as Christina was mentioning, a little bit higher than that. I'm going here to extolmag.com/weather. And again, we are powering a lot of data here. So if you hear just a little digital thing here every once in a while, we're just pumping in the data here. 88 feels like 97. And there's that dew point at 79 degrees. These are the current conditions you can always get at extolmag.com/weather. We get our live stream up. Thanks for subscribing to our YouTube channel, by the way. That is EXTOL Media. So thanks for getting that. And if we do Extol weather extras like this, you will get the notification. So that's why it's important to do that. Subscribe. There are the watches and warnings, and there are 2 interactive maps where you can play along as well with live lightning strikes. And at home, if you pull up interactive radar number 1, you're actually going to hear the click every time there's a cloud to ground lightning strike. So we're starting to see more and more lightning strikes. And of course, when you have more frequent lightning strikes, the storms are stronger. And also, if you get a really big concentration of lightning strikes, that can mean there's a hail core going, and the higher chance and threat that storm could become severe. So watching these storms that are packing some lightning here surrounding the Bedford, Indiana area and near Seymour. Now, this has dozens of weather layers that you can play around with. There's also Extol Interactive Radar number 2 that also has storm tracks. It's got your area temperatures, winds, and all of that good stuff, and any warnings that would be issued as well. There's just a lot of different layers that you can mess around with right here. And again, we're just waiting for the severe thunderstorm watch to be issued for our area. So these are individual storm tracks that will show the direction that those storms are heading. I just clicked on one of these. It will tell you what threats are involved, the towns that are in the way, and how much rain that you'll get. There's just the movement off to the east, what towns are in the way. So a lot of different things that you can mess around with here at extolmag.com/weather. Just want to put that out there. And again, looking live here with the cityofnewaubany.com camera. It is a hazy sky. Again, as we were talking about, the atmosphere is water loaded. It is primed up. I'm going to bring up we're on the live radar right here. I'm going to bring up real quickly the CAPE, the Convective Available Potential Energy Map. And this is going to be with the future model data. The CAPE is, again, off the charts. So I'm going to go here to around 3 p.m. today and bring up the most unstable CAPE. And this is kind of about as high as it goes as well. This is your gasoline. This is your fuel for thunderstorms. And that is 4,000 joules per kilogram. So if a storm fires up, it has unlimited energy to get strong out there. And that's why this is going to be kind of an explosive atmosphere. Now, this time of the year, you don't get the strong jet stream winds necessarily that you get in the springtime. But this is some ingredients here with the cold front that's going to be the kicker or the ramp to kick up the thunderstorms. Then you've got this energy, Christina. There's still enough for a severe weather potential that we need to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. No, sorry, Ben. Betsy just commented and said, we say cumulus clouds and they say thunderheads. So I appreciate that. I mean, we're talking about the same thing here.
Thunder bubbles.
Yes, anytime I do a weather talk, I always make the kids say that because it's a fun word to say. But I will tell you, our very good friend John Gordon is in the National Weather Service chat right now. He's like, let's just issue it. Come on, guys. It's 100% chance of a watch. So let's go.
Right.
So that will certainly be issued here soon.
Yeah, I'm with them. Like you're already at 80%. Just go ahead and pull the trigger.
Yes, absolutely. Pull the trigger.
I'm going to go here to the live stream sweep. Yeah, John said that here. 140. John used to be the head of the local National Weather Service, and he's in the chat. And I'm sure still wanting to make all the meteorologists work hard there at our local National Weather Service. And they do work hard, by the way. If these storms start to rotate or show signs of severity, then they will be issuing the warnings right away. We wanted to jump on here a little bit ahead of time to get you ready for the storm. And you can see they're going to be hitting areas around Paoli and Jasper and Salem and Scottsburg and Austin and Crothersville first over the next hour as this line slowly drops south. It's more of an easterly component, like they're moving east at around 40 miles per hour, but they are also at the same time, the line is going to be dropping south. So this is what we're going to have here over the next a couple of hours. And we're going to bounce around between the live radar here for you, some looks outside, and then the future cast or the future radar, just to keep you all aware and what's happening as well. And in Kentucky as well, as we do expect a lot of this activity to start to move to the south of the river by around, I'd say 5 p.m.ish. Right now it's 1:55 on your Tuesday afternoon, July 21st. You're watching a live stream here for southern Indiana and beyond as the storms are starting to blossom on the sunny side of the river, as they say. As Mary Dale from New Albany says, the sun is shining brightly here in New Albany, and it is a steamy one. I mean, the heat index is around 100 right now. Let me see if I can drop this into the velocity mode real quick here, if it's going to let me.
Yeah, and Ben, while you're doing that, that's a thing for today. It wasn't just we have a few flood watches, of course, mostly off to the east of I-65, but off to the west of 65, we have those heat advisories. And so it's a 1-2 punch sort of thing where you're like, hey, well, we're going to have storms that will cool us down. Certainly, yes, but still dealing with some excessive heat across the area as well. Looks like that the heat advisory that's in effect for folks around Du Bois County, Harrison County, and stretching all the way down toward Bowling Green there in South Central Kentucky, that's going to be allowed to
Yeah, and this map
expire
right here is Christina's talking about.
this evening. Yeah, and I mean, we are going to get a little bit of a payout after all of these storms do move through, because I don't think we'll be seeing any heat advisories for at least the next couple of days, probably the rest of the week, because our temperatures are really going to be falling down. So there's a light at the end of the storm tunnel, so to speak.
And Karen, when you say thunder here, just let us know where here is. Thanks when you drop in a report, and we really appreciate your reports. Just let us know where you're watching from, so we can pass that along. Sandra Dobson, the winds are starting to get up there in Bullitt County. You've got a little bit while longer there, Sandra, probably around 5 p.m. before those storms move into your area. The closest severe thunderstorm warning right now looks like it's up towards Cincinnati. You can see that in the orange right there. And as Christina was mentioning, east of I-65, east of Louisville, all that green is a flood watch for the potential of flash flooding. And then out to the west are all the heat advisories and excessive heat warnings. So we're right in the middle, Louisville and much of southern Indiana, not necessarily under those advisories right now. And again, here's just another live look with the city of New Albany in place. And something we don't see very often is it's almost like a late spring cold front that's crashing into this tropical air mass, which is going to be kicking up these thunderstorms that we're watching very closely here for this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, as I've been trying to remind folks, hail's also a threat. It's not our top threat, but that doesn't mean that we're not necessarily going to see hail. Get those cars under cover if you can. Get them in the garage. I know I just did that earlier today. I almost forgot. I normally don't even bother bringing the car into the garage, but even, I mean, quarter size hail to especially ping pong and golf ball size, that's what we're likely looking at, especially as those storms begin to push toward the river here as they continue to push on toward the south and the east. Likely to see a couple hail cores now and then, as Ben was just showing there on Futurecast, but hail around 1 inch to 1.75 inches in diameter that's golf ball size, 1.75. So certainly nothing that you should be taking lightly when it comes to that hail threat. Don't leave the cars outside. Try to put them under cover as best as you can. And I mean, not only that, but make sure you're protecting yourself and your family as well. But at this point, I'm not seeing a whole lot of reports for larger hail, but it is certainly going to be possible.
A good reminder too. A watch means that over the next couple of hours that conditions are going to worsen. You get the potential for severe storms. If a severe thunderstorm warning happens or a tornado warning happens, that means you need to immediately take action. Lowest level of your home, away from the doors and the windows. And it might only be 15 minutes. Just take that action to keep you and your family safe. And as we bring this back up to kind of a fuller screen view here, this is what we call an SPS, a special weather statement. It's not a warning, it's just kind of below a warning. But this is for this storm heading towards Brownstown, basically right now. Crothersville and into the Austin area here. That shows by around to the center of that, heading towards Crothersville and Austin by around 240, 245. Mitchell, you've got a cell over your area, some heavy rain there. Just to the north of Saltillo, and then Lagodi has a thunderstorm. And so this is all just off to the northwest of Scottsburg and Salem and Paoli. Just been a close eye on these suckers, as they could be growing pretty strong pretty quickly over the next couple of hours. And we do expect that we will have a severe thunderstorm watch out soon. I'm going to go to actually the Storm Prediction Center, and you guys can play along if you'd like. You can just go to up here. This will bring up the mesoscale discussion, and we can click on it, and it is going to bring The Storm Prediction Center, again, a division of the National Weather Service that looks around and sees where severe weather might happen. And so as we click on this area right here, they've got our area highlighted for, again, about an 80% chance of a severe thunderstorm watch. So you can see that area in the blue right there. And I might have to have you take over here in a second because I think my mouse batteries died on me, even though I just changed them. All right, so it says severe weather potential for the lower and middle Ohio Valley. Severe weather potential watch is likely. Numerous strong to severe thunderstorms are expected to form along the cold front this afternoon before progressing southeastward. That's what we're talking about right now. Damaging to severe wind gusts will be the primary threat. Brief tornadoes and isolated large hail also possible. The latest surface analysis places a cold front extending southwestward from lower Michigan to central Indiana. So that's what's kicking up these thunderstorms now. A deepening cumulus field is noted along this front. I'm not going to get into all of the dirty meteorological details here, but it says damaging wind gusts around 70 miles per hour are expected to be the most common hazard, but brief tornadoes and large hail to around golf ball size are also possible. Confidence is higher in greater storm coverage occurring from southern Indiana into northern Kentucky, with more uncertainty surrounding coverage existing farther west, where the effective shear is also forecast to be a little bit weaker. So the wind speeds are a little bit weaker out west. Given the severe weather risk, watch issuance is likely for at least a portion of the discussion area this afternoon. So that's what we've been waiting for, is this watch. I'm going to let you go ahead and take over for a minute here. Sure. As you can bring up your radar too if you like. And Erica, I see you're there. Good afternoon, Erica, just joining in.
Hey there. Hey, Erica. So let me go ahead and pull up, because as Ben and I, while he's fixing his mouse, we've been talking about it's not just one or two severe weather hazards. We're also talking that flash flooding potential, but especially off to the east of I-65. And so I kind of just wanted to zoom around the area and give you just a little bit of taste. Again, this is just our futurecast estimate of what we could potentially see over the next couple of hours and into this evening. I'd say widespread 1 to 2 inches of rain looking possible, but even a few localized pockets of 3 to 4 inches, so likely to cause some flash flooding issues. So around the Salem area there in Washington County, maybe around just 2 inches. Borden likely just shy of that 1 inch. Again, these are just estimates, folks. Charlestown likely to get just over 1 inch. So you can see just how widespread that activity is going to be. But certainly if you're off to the east of 65, sorry, now we're trying to slowly zoom out, but it does look like Cincy area is going to be hit pretty hard, probably have a little bit higher amounts when it comes to that rainfall, but along 65, even down there toward Bullitt County, some areas could see over 2 inches. So if you are just joining us, hey guys, thank you so much. I'm here live. I'm meteorologist Christina Sanjuan with meteorologist Ben Peine, and walking you through what we could potentially see into the next couple of hours. We're expecting a severe thunderstorm watch to be issued for much of our area, especially there in Kentucky, in a few spots here in southern Indiana. So I kind of just want to walk you through the threats, especially if you just joined. As I mentioned, it's not just going to be straight line winds, even though that is going to be our primary threat as these storms continue to gain quite a bit of strength here as they're approaching our immediate area. And by that, I just mean farther to the south in Indiana and eventually moving into Kentucky. So straight line winds, I'd say around 55 to 70 miles per hour, which could certainly cause some downed trees and some power lines. Other than that, though, also talking that flash flooding risk, which many folks off to the east of 65, especially in Kentucky, once again, have that flood watch in effect right now. Tornado threat is low, but we can't rule out isolated brief touchdown here with this, given the setup that we have, as well as some potentially larger hail, anywhere from about quarter size to golf ball, which golf ball size hail is just under 2 inches in diameter. So certainly nothing to take lightly here, but we are kind of waiting on that severe thunderstorm watch to come out really any minute now.
Thunderstorm warning.
Oh, we did get one
We do have
just
a new
now.
severe thunderstorm warning. Yeah. So first severe thunderstorm warning here, and you gotta love technology. The mouse is working again.
Okay.
This is here over Brownstown. This is moving southeast, east-southeast around 35 miles per hour. Maximum hail size around 1 inch. That can do some damage. And then maximum wind gusts around 60 miles per hour. So this is up here in Brown County, or I should say Jackson County around Brownstown. And this goes into, it looks like the northern section of Scott County as well. So here is the center of the storm heading towards Brownstown, Crothersville, and Austin over the next half hour. So you'll just want to be in your place of shelter. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. There's another severe thunderstorm warning for this storm just to the northwest of Paoli, and this goes until 2:45 p.m. Same hazards, inch-size hail, and maximum wind gusts at around 60 miles per hour. So a couple of our first severe thunderstorm warnings, and again, to get your bearings, we can do a little distance tool here. We'll just do it from downtown Louisville, and the center of that storm is 44 miles north of Louisville, and then this one is about 60 miles northwest of Louisville. Another little cell in southern Lawrence County that is about 50 miles northwest of Louisville right there. And then another little cell just starting to pop up in southwestern Washington County around the Hardinsburg area, right along Highway 150 off to the northwest. So things starting to pop off here as expected. By the way, an update with the National Weather Service about the severe thunderstorm watch, as John Gordon was asking about that, is they've been talking with the Storm Prediction Center. There's been a lot of watches that have been needed all at once, so they're trying their best to get them out as soon as possible. I've never really heard them say that before, that there's just so many watches that are needed. 2 warnings now against our border. Yeah.
That the enhanced risk of severe storms is stretching all the way out there toward the mid-Atlantic region. So
we're just on the kind of western fringe.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the western fringe of the severe weather kind of outbreak. So the National Weather Service also saying we're watching closely for the warnings which might be needed downstream into Washington, Scott, and northeastern Du Bois and Orange counties as well. So what you see flashing here in the yellow, those are the severe thunderstorm warnings. You can also see the motion of these potentially severe thunderstorms moving off to the southeast. I'm going to try to hit pause on this. I'm going to see if it's going to let me. It's not letting me bring up the other products at this time. I'm going to have to do a reboot of my program here, Christina, because...
What are you pulling up, Ben?
Typically, it'll let me bring up, velocity and all the different products, but it's just, I'm just stuck right now on the live radar. Maybe if I bring up Scene Builder and bring up the rad sat and then switch back, it'll let me do it. So we go to radar satellite, and this is going to show the overall view of this big complex of storms. A huge severe thunderstorm watch covers Ohio, northeastern Kentucky, southeastern Indiana, and then into Virginia. And then we're on the, again, western flank of the severe weather threat over our area. And as we do a little loop here and wait for that to load, there you can see the motion of those storms that have been firing up here over the last hour. So not taking long. You can kind of see the explosive nature of those thunderstorms as they kind of blossomed out of nowhere, I'd say about an hour ago. And then you can see them.
They really did.
So looking for a lot like, I think, the HRRR, the high resolution rapid refresh weather model. Yeah.
Yep. The HRRR finally kind of got on board.
And we're going back and forth and just checking the phone.
Yeah. I mean, I think the model's done a pretty good job showing how they would really start to explode with time. And here we are. So it's a 2:11 on this Tuesday afternoon, and we have, it looks like, 2 different severe thunderstorm warnings. Basically for 60-mile-per-hour wind, as well as up to 1-inch hail. They're moving they're moving to the east around 37.
So now I can look at the velocity. I don't see any.
Perfect.
I don't see any strong rotation right now.
Nope,
Just
not
looking
seeing
for the
any
potential of
notches
that
there.
as these get a little bit closer to the radar too.
Yeah, and of course that's
Sometimes
good
we'll do
news.
a
We
little
don't ever want to
analysis
see
kind of-
that. Right. We don't want to
It's
see
always good news.
any sort of rotation, but 60-mile-per-hour wind, quarter size hail looks like what's we're looking at for those 2 separate severe thunderstorm warnings.
And these are echo tops, how tall the thunderstorms are. Well, these are like 50, 60,000 feet in the air, which is incredibly tall. Typically you need these storms to get up to around 25,000 feet and you'll start to get lightning. This storm here near Medora, between Medora and Seymour and Jackson County, has radar tops of it around, echo tops around 58,000 feet. That's very, very tall. Those are tropical thunderstorms right there. So I'm going to go back to kind of the regular view of the velocity mode here. And as expected, Christina, this severe thunderstorm warning has been expanded to include Scott County and northeastern Washington County. This expires in 32 minutes, this severe thunderstorm warning right here. And this is originating out of, again, central Jackson County. It's right over Brownstown right now. And we're just going to need to watch if we get a little bit of rotation right there, those notches, and you at home can see those just like we see those as well. That indicates the potential of some rotation. We don't see a whole lot right now. Thankfully, as Christina mentioned, we don't want to see that, but we'll just have to watch and see if these start to rotate a little bit. But that severe thunderstorm warning has been extended to include Scottsburg and Austin, and it looks like Crothersville. This is the severe thunderstorm warning information. This storm is moving to the southeast at 37 miles per hour. The hail threat is radar indicated, maximum size around 1 inch. If you guys at home get any reports, please let us know when it's safe to do so, of course, if anything's happened in your neck of the woods. It says maximum wind gusts around 60 miles per hour. And also, this storm has been extended. We were talking about this from the National Weather Service chat to include Orange County with this severe thunderstorm warning. So this is the same threats, wind gusts 60 miles per hour or greater, hail size at 1 inch, and this is moving to the east-southeast at around 37 miles per hour. We're starting to get some poppers out ahead of those big thunderstorms that have warnings on them as well, between Hardinsburg and Pekin and Fredericksburg in southwestern Washington County, Indiana. And then also here in Crawford County around the English area, you got a little cell that's just firing up around Indiana 64.
Yeah, starting to see a hail core developing around Brownstown too in that severe thunderstorm warning.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and you can see that right here. That's that purple area. Good call there too, because that's just south of downtown Brownstown is where you have not only the purple color, we're going into like would you call that chartreuse or blue? I'm not the best with colors.
Turquoise?
Turquoise?
Maybe?
There you go. Turquoise.
Yeah.
That would indicate maybe some severe hail up to around 1 inch in size.
Yeah, certainly seeing that kind of strengthen over time. Not something I saw before, but again, the HRRR kind of nailed this. Took a while for it to finally get on board, but showed those same sort of turquoise blue, whatever shade of light blue you want to call it, developing over time too, as it's beginning to approach you folks around Crothersville, Austin, and moving toward I-65. Not a good time to be there on the interstate on this Tuesday afternoon.
I'm going to try to draw a little track here off to the southeast on the speed that they're going. Right about there. So, give or take for sure, but here's a track with these storms heading off to the east and southeast, heading into the Austin area here pretty soon. So just a few minutes out there. Into the
Looks
Milton
like
area. Yeah, I'm sorry, Hanover 245-ish. So this might not be a prolonged event, Christina. I mean, if we get these storms moving through southern Indiana next 1 to 2 hours, yeah, then we're like 4 or 5 o'clock. They'll probably start moving south of Louisville and into Kentucky and south of the river.
yeah, in and out of here fairly quickly, at least. And I know that I was watching your live earlier today, and someone brought up a very good point that we're glad if we're going to have severe weather, at least it's during the day, because we know that severe weather is also a lot more dangerous whenever it's in the nighttime. And thankfully, we're not looking like we'll be seeing a whole lot of that here across the immediate Kentuckiana area. But I will say, Ben, the National Weather Service saw exactly what we were just talking about with the hail threat on the storm that we were just looking at that was approaching the Crothersville area, Austin, Indiana, as well, as whenever they went ahead and expanded that severe thunderstorm warning that we were just looking at. Now it's warned for up to 70-mile-per-hour wind. So certainly beginning to gain a bit of strength here as it continues pushing off to the southeast around 30 to 40 miles per hour. So 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts going to be possible with that, as well as 1.5-inch hail. So 1.5-inch hail is the equivalent to ping pong ball size hail. So if you're in that area, please don't be going outside, obviously, but let us know if you can see anything out your window of so we can kind of confirm that report here, especially around the downtown Brownstown area as it continues to push off toward Crothersville, Scottsburg. You're about to see that as well. And I'll go ahead and turn that track on as well. But Ben, hey, I was just mentioning that the severe thunderstorm warning that was issued to expand toward Crothersville, 70-mile-per-hour winds, 1.5-inch sized hail here. So beginning to take shape and strengthen, certainly. That severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 2:45.
A comment from Beverly, starting to get windy in Borden, and I think starting to hear some thunder as well here in the Borden area. There is that cell. It's just starting to pop up out to the west of Pekin, north of Fredericksburg. So might be getting some thunder from that. And these things are getting stronger and stronger, as you were saying, Christina. Starting to see some pretty good hail cores and just a little bit of rotation in these to the northwest of Paoli, where much of Orange County is under that severe thunderstorm warning. So a couple of stronger cells, southern Jackson County moving into Scott County, and another one that's going to be heading into Orange County, Indiana. And then we've got these little poppers, these little cells out ahead of them as well. And they're all moving off to the southeast, generally at about 35 to 40 miles per hour. There.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Finally
got that watch.
It is the severe thunderstorm watch that covered up Kentucky. There it is. So this watch, let me see if I can.
But also considerable damage on the severe thunderstorm warning for Washington, Clark County, because of the 70-mile-per-hour wind, and also the ping pong ball sized hail that the radar is estimating there. And Kevin, who's now the MIC of the National Weather Service here in Louisville, is agreeing with Ben. This is a very tall storm. You were just analyzing it. And that's kind of, unfortunately, what we have to deal with in these tropical conditions this time of the year.
Yep, very, very tall storm, very tropical in nature. And so we've got the severe thunderstorm watch that has just been posted. And this is going to last a lot longer for Kentucky because these storms are going to be in and out of Indiana. And it's not going to take long for them to move through. You can see them. They're about 40 miles north and northwest of Louisville, 40, 50 miles north and northwest of Louisville. And two of these are a lot stronger than everything else that's out there right now that we're watching. And so this is going to impact areas here around Crothersville, and seeing just a really impressive hail core, it looks like, between Crothersville and Brownstown. And this is going to be heading towards the Austin area and possibly Scottsburg. So all that area in that warning. And this will get maybe a little bit bigger off to the west of Pekin. There's a lot of colors going on. I've got the watch up. So the severe thunderstorm watch is up for basically south of Jackson County, Indiana. So that includes Jefferson, Scott, Washington, Orange, Du Bois, Crawford, Perry, Harrison, Floyd, and Clark counties in Indiana. And then includes Metro Louisville, and then most of Kentucky under that severe thunderstorm watch. And I'm not sure exactly how long that watch goes out for just yet. It's going to be different for different areas. We're going to see this watch clipped off a lot sooner for southern Indiana than Kentucky, but there it is. And we're not alone as far as severe thunderstorm watch. Look at that whole area that's kind of highlighted right there. That includes almost all of Kentucky, southern Indiana, southern half of Ohio, much of West Virginia, southwestern Pennsylvania, all under severe thunderstorm watches, which is better than a tornado watch, Christina. So that's good.
Oh, absolutely. And I was just going to ask you, Ben, since I'm still fairly new to our weather system here, if we could just do a little bit of scanning around for the velocity, just to do some double checking.
Oh, for sure. Here in just a second, I will. I was just going to bring it real quick, see if that watch had popped up on extolmag.com/weather just yet. And if not, it'll be up very soon. I'm going to click off some of the other data so we can get this to load up here. And
yeah,
again,
a fairly large watch across most of Kentucky, and stretching out toward central to southern Ohio, as well as a vast majority of West Virginia. And then a tornado watch was just issued off toward the northeast, kind of the mid-Atlantic region, including all of New Jersey. I believe New York City is in there as well, and then far eastern Pennsylvania. So I mean, we're not alone. Not that that helps.
Mode right here.
Oh.
So I don't.
Zach is saying that it looks
thankfully I don't
nasty
see
in
anything
Scottsburg.
glaring as far as like. So there's like a 50-mile-per-hour wind gust there northwest of Paoli, 50 there, with that severe thunderstorm warning there. So far, this is a little ways from the radar too. The radar beam kind of goes up at an angle, so it's probably a good 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 feet above the ground, looking at those cells right there off to the northwest. So again, keeping a close eye on these storms. This is gate-to-gate shear product. If we see any rotation, there's a lot of different products that we can try to bring up here. And this is the maximum hail size. Take a look at this, Christina. That's 2-inch size hail. What we would always do is kind of, in a tropical environment, half that, because there would be some melting going on. So there could be inch-size hail. This is the hail core. This is the hail product just west of Crothersville, down Indiana 39, so northwest of Scottsburg. That could be doing some damage. Yeah. And then
and especially if that is the ground truth. Yep.
Look at that.
If that is the ground truth, I mean, 2 inches, I think that's an egg, if I'm not mistaken. 2-inch in diameter of an egg.
Bigger than a golf ball.
Yeah, it certainly is.
And if you're in Clark County, you just got the notification of the severe thunderstorm watch. Not very often we see hail cores like that. That's pretty impressive. That goes until 10 p.m., but that's going to be done with a lot sooner than Kentucky. It's not going to take that long to get rid of this severe thunderstorm watch for Indiana. But if you get any hail reports, let us know. This is the hail product. This is the mean estimated size hail. And then we got the POSH product, the probability of severe hail. So we're watching 2 hail cores right here. Let me get back to here and just clean up our view. So these hail cores are small. These are the center of these supercells. So you've got one of these that is just west of Crothersville. Let me bring up the other one. I like the other one, the other look of the other one better.
And
There you
Ben,
can
while
see it
as
just
doing that,
northwest of Austin. So if that hail core holds together.
No, the National, I was just going to say the
go
National
ahead.
Weather Service is continuing to expand those warnings. A brand new one. They're just south of Scottsburg
Yeah.
with the same
So I'll
threat,
go
70
back and
mile per
I'll
hour
put my
winds. Yeah.
warnings back on.
Yeah. So several different severe thunderstorm warnings that we're looking at across the area as all of those storms are beginning to
Yep.
approach the Ohio.
Yep. So right inside that severe thunderstorm warning. So 2 or 3 counties north of the Ohio rivers where we have the severe thunderstorm watch, and then it also goes throughout almost all of Kentucky. So Kentucky, you're getting a firsthand view of what could be heading your way. Just to let you know, I'm going to get rid of that watch and kind of clear up the map a little bit here. I want to get back to the regular view of the radar that you all are used to seeing, and these storms are exploding more and more. We've got a new severe thunderstorm warning as well for western Clark County. That includes the Borden area, and I'm actually getting some rain out my window. My window is directly toward Borden and Peine, looking off to the northwest, so I can see all of this activity starting to head our direction. So this was just issued. This is a severe thunderstorm warning for 32 more minutes. That includes Peine. This is because of the potential of hail, and it looks like this is in the growing stages, and it's heading towards Borden, Indiana right now. So Borden and Peine up Highway 60. This is for hail around. Oh, we got Skeeter alert here. My dog Skeeter's starting to freak out. That means we got lightning close to the area. So the dogs
I just
are
now
starting to
heard
freak
some
out.
thunder here in Floyd County.
Yep. Beverly Haggis says it is raining hard in Borden. There goes the weather radio for Beverly Haggis. Yep. And Beverly saying just got the warning for the severe thunderstorm warning. Debbie Best there in Clarksville. Let me see if I can bring this comment up right here. I'll leave the radar view up so you can see that. Thundering now in Clarksville. Yes, these storms are getting closer. These are going to be a lightning show. I'm telling you, I can't emphasize how much water is in the atmosphere because of this tropical nature. Christina and I were talking about when we first started on here that the dew points are around 75 to 80, hovering around 80. It's about as muggy as you possibly can get in our area. It's muggier here than along the Gulf Coast in Florida, in fact. We got thunder in Sellersburg there. Thank you for that from Inspector 4133. Erica talking about just got the Clark County alert. Yes, that is for the severe thunderstorm watch, and of course the warnings as well. And Don saying heading out with the drone. Hey, be careful with that drone there. And I'm going to text my son real quick if you've got something.
Is he out and about? So there's a new warning.
He's
just
going to
issued
get
for
his car
Southern
that was
Washington.
getting fixed but forgot his keys.
Oh, buddy. A new warning for Southern Washington. So the same area that we've been watching. We have a downburst signature on it, which is not something we like to see. It suggests that we could have some damaging wind pushing into the area. And it's, as Ben and I have been saying, it grew very tall very quickly and likely to merge with the storms around Salem, I believe. So let me take a look at, and it's a storm that Ben was just talking about around Peine there in Indiana. So I know we're seeing a whole lot of colors.
Yeah. There's Louisville right there that I just highlighted. So all these storms are moving southeast, and all the yellow, those are severe thunderstorm warnings that are going to fire up.
Yeah, so at least looks like the hail core has come down quite a bit as the storm approaches I-65 there around Crothersville and Austin, Scottsburg. Just kind of trying to analyze a few different of these storms, but as we look a little bit farther to the southwest, starting to see a little bit of that teal color approaching French Lick. So trying to get a little bit more information on that as I scrub around here. But the warning is issued for at least 1-inch hail. So if you're around, say, Paoli, French Lick area, the worst, quote unquote, of the storm appears to be heading your direction. And in fact, I need to correct myself because that warning for you folks around Paoli and French Lick is for up to 1.5 inches of hail. Yeah. In diameter. Getting pretty close to French Lick as we speak. I'd expect it to be pretty much right over top of you in our next 5-minute radar scan. So make sure
Getting
that
some good
you
lightning.
are.
My visual of frequent lightning out my window here. So I'm looking towards the storm right now. That's in Borden. I'm about. I mean, it's about on top of me right now, along with Skeeter, who's freaking out. So we're getting frequent lightning here. I can see the storm, the darkening sky. So this is my view towards Borden and Pekin. So very heavy rain, torrential rainfall. This can cause some ponding of water very quickly. More of a hail threat here heading towards the Austin area in Crothersville and around Scottsburg. There's a potential for inch-size hail there and damaging wind gusts in excess of 60 miles per hour. And we've got this other storm that is now expanding into Orange County around French Lick, heading towards Paoli and West Baden. And as Christina was mentioning, possibly 1.5-inch hail. And I don't remember what year it was, but it wasn't too long ago. The top of West Baden Springs Hotel got nailed by the hail up that direction. And it looks like there's a hail core over French Lick right now. So if you know anybody in French Lick around Springs Valley High School, looks like there's some pretty good hail possibly coming down right there. So let us know if you get any reports of that. We'll pass them along as well. This storm getting bigger as we speak over western Clark County between Pekin and Borden. Eventually you might be able to hear the thunder out through my microphone. And then this storm's getting larger here, a bit stronger around Milltown in Crawford County, Indiana, and northwestern Harrison County and into Crawford County, I should say, around English. And a strong storm northwest of Jasper. So as expected, these storms are exploding pretty good. Now, we've been on live radar for a while, and you can see the motion of these storms moving to the southeast at a pretty good clip. Thank you, Deborah. I see your comment there. You stay safe as well. And Barbara Haas says, only dark clouds in Georgetown. Hopefully you can do a storm dodge there. Trying to bring up the comments.
Yeah, I can certainly tell the sky getting a little bit darker here in Floyd County.
Beverly Haggis, the storm in Borden is bad with wind and raining hard. Yeah, these are strong thunderstorms, very tall, around 60,000 tall thunderstorms, tropical in nature. Also with a kind of a late spring-like front that's kicking them up. So they are not only packing a punch with gusty winds, frequent lightning, torrential rainfall, but you get the potential for the hail as well. I'm going to try to hit the refresh button here at
Yeah, speaking of which, Ben, Beverly just said that it's hailing right now in Borden.
I've got the wheels spinning on my screen right now.
Yeah, your sound cut out just ever so slightly, but Beverly said
and
hailing
Mary,
in Borden right now.
You're very welcome. Thanks for tuning in.
Kind of, I can see that, Beverly. Just to the south.
Yeah, and I don't know if the storm's kind of interrupting the internet service a little bit, which it shouldn't, but take a look at this, Christina. Look at the lightning that's involved here. We just had a lightning strike right in our woods here. I mean, these clouds are not high above the treetops. That's very low lift conduction level, LCL. And
Yeah,
storm come down here.
a
Look
lot
at
of
the
electricity.
concentration of lightning. That is incredible. These are live lightning strikes. They're just flash after flash after flash.
And so right now you are on extolmag.com and able to, so
Lightning
other folks can
factories, these
track it
things
as
are
well.
becoming. So these are the live strikes
Mhm.
here. And again, look at these live strikes. You'll hear a click every time I have lightning strike.
Yeah. So, and anybody can get on to exolmag.com/weather and kind of track it yourself as well, which is super helpful. Of course, that's what we may have just lost Ben on the live stream. But as we know, he lives in Borden, and there's a pretty heavy thunderstorm right over top of him as we speak. I know Beverly just told us that we had that you were seeing a little bit of hail in that area, and it's not hard to lose power in these sort of situations.
dropped
Not only
off.
with the hail. Oh yeah, I know. I was just explaining the pretty strong storm moving over top of your exact location right now.
We've never had issue with
we have him
the
back.
fiber, but I'm back. Maybe the lightning hits the fiber and it messes things up. Yeah, Leo
Any
says
of them,
he
yep.
just stepped outside. The humidity is off the charts.
Oh
No
yeah,
doubt
it's
about
been
it.
brutal.
Just
Not
load my
just your
stuff back
typical
up.
summertime humidity either. Going outside this morning to feed my chickens, you could certainly feel it in the air, and which is not good for fueling this sort of situation in this sort of atmosphere. Of course, that feeds the storms, so to speak. Oh, Debbie
Yes,
said he's
indeed.
back.
I'm back. All right. I was trying to check out all the lightning strikes. I'm sure you saw some of that, but it is, I mean, I've got evidence of it right here out my window and just a ton of lightning. And my signal might go out again every once in a while, depending on how much lightning we're getting. And look at the storm that's now expanded within like 2 minutes to cover Highway 60, Borden, almost to Sellersburg, down to northern New Albany. Lightning strike was in my backyard.
Oh.
This is crazy lightning. These storms are exploding. Crazy stuff here.
Yeah, and I'm kind of checking on any new reports that are coming in through Slack. Of course, they're issuing a new special weather statement, but as we know, that's a level down from severe thunderstorm warnings. So trying to see if any folks, especially emergency managers or anyone, have received confirmed reports of larger hail. I know that we've had some smaller hail reported, but
we're getting some leaves flying around and the trees are starting to move. We've got some good wind gusts here. And I'm starting to wonder there's some good winds out there. If this will just congeal into one kind of big line. You see how they're all just kind of expanding into each other.
Yep, they're eventually going to kind of combine as one large line over time. Especially, I mean, gosh, as it's approaching the Ohio River right now. So far around Georgetown area, you haven't seen a whole lot, but you will fairly shortly, as you have a storm that's pretty quickly approaching your area.
It is on top of me. Thankfully, my son is in the neighborhood now.
Oh,
because it is right on top of us, and it is getting. Oh my man! Christina, it is one cloud to ground lightning flash after another. There's going to be some trees down in our neighborhood, maybe just from the lightning.
I believe it.
I haven't seen a lightning show like this in the daytime.
I'm going to go ahead and open up my blinds so that I can actually
concentration of this light.
See as the showers and storms approach us here.
Nope, I'm still up, I think. We're getting flashes out here. Now we're getting some downburst winds. All right. Yeah, Mary Deal. I don't know how. We'll see how long my signal can stay up. And if we can hold power, there's going to be quite a bit of power outages, I think, because of the frequency of lightning that is going to be possibly hitting transformers, the damaging microburst winds that we're going to be having. But thankfully for southern Indiana, this will be in and out in fairly short order. And I know Christina is kind of in a spot that gets some frequent power outages as well.
That's what I'm pulling up
And Mary
right
now
now,
has the
Ben.
rain there in New Albany. And man, the lightning
Yeah,
is
I'm just
wild
checking
out
out. I'm checking out any power
And the wind.
outages across southern Indiana. So just one moment.
there. My son made it back.
Hi, Brady.
Wow,
Okay.
the lightning is wild. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but
I'm
That's
not
crazy.
hearing it, but I'm just looking up the if there
we're gonna
are
get
any
quite the
power
lightning show
outages.
here. Well,
Let's
okay, yeah.
see.
And while you do that, I'm going to bring up the velocity mode here. So we've just had, it looks like 30, 40 mile an hour gusts with maybe some 50 gusts that I'm seeing on some of the.
Not seeing much of anything as far as power outages. But continuing to kind of scrub around here. Ben, I think I was wondering why it was so quiet. I think Ben may have froze a little bit, but again, as we were saying, strong thunderstorm right over top of him. Looks like the worst is almost past him, which again, it's kind of a real quick hitter for us. Not the kind of storm that's going to be, thankfully, sitting over top of us for a very long time. So again, I think we just lost Ben. He started to freeze, and he's probably just resetting some of his. Maybe it just takes a quick little reboot. Hopefully he didn't actually lose power. But as we were just talking about, that there's so much electricity in these storms that it's not going to take a whole lot to unfortunately have those power outages or to see any trees and of course power lines down, as we were just speaking about. So I'm looking over top of the Borden area, right around where Ben lives. And again, I think that the worst part of it is just about past his area. And tuning into your comments here. Steve says, thank you for your coverage. Watching from Hodgenville, Kentucky. Well, thank you very much for tuning in. As we were saying, folks in Kentucky kind of getting a little bit of a preview of what's to come over the next couple of hours as these storms have really started to gain strength and blossomed in nature over, and very quickly at that, over the course of the last hour or so, just began exploding. And eventually we're going to start to see them all kind of come a little bit closer together and start to congeal, as we call it, as they're continuing to approach the Ohio River. So I'll look real quick through your comments, and then we'll kind of do a little scope across the map at our current warnings that are in effect while we wait for Ben to hop back on here. Hopefully he didn't actually lose power. Maybe he's just rebooting a couple of things. Erica says rain and thunder starting in Charlestown. That makes sense because as I'm scrolling here on my other monitor, the storm's beginning to approach your location. Beverly said weather radar going off again with another severe thunderstorm warning. So they're likely just continuing to issue them and from the National Weather Service because they're not seeing any signs of weakening. And we have, unfortunately, our first report of some wind damage from the thunderstorms. Oh, let me see, around East Elmer Martin Road. That's right around New Pekin, Indiana. So I believe that's Washington County, and that's where we've had a couple different severe thunderstorm warnings. So let me go ahead and pull that up. Add my weather radar here to the stage again while we hopefully wait for Ben to hop back on. Kendall said, feels like a sauna outside. It's very tropical. And quite honestly, we don't see a whole lot of dew points in the lower 80s across our area typically. Of course, we feel the humidity, but the dew point around 81 in Louisville, that's actually higher than there in South Florida or anywhere on the Panhandle, and that's where they're dealing with Tropical Storm Bertha. So certainly meets the criteria for the ingredients, or all the ingredients in the atmosphere to create these stronger, intense thunderstorms, bringing a whole lot of rain, a whole lot of electricity, some wind, and a little bit of hail across the area. Looks like Ben is trying to connect to us here. We'll check on him. Oh, I see him. We got you back.
It was just
How's it going?
Total reboot of our whole house.
That's what I was saying. I think he's probably rebooting some things, resetting them, power off, power back on. But it looks like the worst of the storm is just about past your area here, Ben, as we were just about to take a little scan across the entire area and kind of go warning by warning throughout southern Indiana. Mine's starting to get dark.
Southeast of Cincinnati. So that's the closest tornado warning, thankfully, to our area.
Well, sorry for Cincinnati, but thankfully,
right.
Not dealing with it here locally, not trying to be selfish. But if you know folks around Cincinnati, then certainly check in on them and make sure that they were able to receive that warning. So checking in on our National Weather Service chat. Ben, I was saying, while you were unfortunately rebooting everything, some reports of some large trees down across Pekin, Indiana. So that's our first report of having some damage from the severe thunderstorms. And that's around East Elmer Martin Road.
Not surprising. We had some big gusts here.
I'm sure, unfortunately, more of those damage reports will be coming in here over time with the amount of storms that are pushing through the area, with up to 70 mile per hour winds, as well as up to 1.5 inch hail moving through with all of the storms. And not to mention all of the lightning, the whole lightning show that we're seeing. I forgot that my radar was still on here, Ben. It's okay. I can go ahead and remove that.
No, keep it up because I'm still trying to get my radar to load back up.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So kind of just taking a scrub across the area of what our current warnings are. So we look across the Paoli area, tiny little hail core around French Lick doesn't look as impressive as it once did as that storm was approaching your location, but nonetheless could still certainly do some damage given hail up to about ping pong ball size and 60 mile per hour winds as that storm pushes on through to the southeast around 35 miles per hour. Again, max wind gusts right around 60. So that will be approaching you folks around Hardinsburg here fairly shortly. Now, as we keep looking closer to the I-65 corridor, still have the severe thunderstorm warning for you folks until, let's see, well, it did say it expired at 2:45, and here we are at 2:51. So maybe perhaps I'm having some trouble loading, but still kind of a nasty storm around you folks in Scottsburg and Austin, moving off to the southeast, just shy of 40 miles per hour. Oh, and you can see all of that lightning as Ben pulls it up there on extolmag.com.
Yeah, Orlean says, how bad was it at your house? I mean, not very many times in my life have I seen that frequent of cloud to ground lightning strikes. The wind gusts weren't crazy. I did see some, I got some limbs down. I don't see anything big happening. There were some leaves flying around. Good afternoon on Fox there. We're in the Highview area. And Perry Porter was popping in the comments here a little bit earlier. It's really thundering here. Rain slowing down over the Borden area. So Borden looking a little bit better. And Marydale there in New Albany getting a bit of lightning and thunder now. So as Christina was mentioning here, as we bring up the Extol interactive weather radar number 1, just a ton of cloud to ground lightning strikes. Look at every one of those little lightning bolts have hit the ground. So that's why we had the power flash in our house, and the power rebooted. I'll have to reset the clock in the microwave here in a little bit once these storms move through. But lining up 1 or 2 counties north of the Ohio River is where we are currently tracking the threat with damaging winds in excess of 60 miles. It is nonstop lightning flashes here on extolmag.com/weather. Oops. Let me bring this up to the stage here real quick as we are tracking the radar live as well. I just took that off, trying to bring it back up.
Some loud thunder
on a lot of information right now. So VV, Indiana's got a bad storm there. Madison's kind of in between. Scottsburg, Highway 56 there between Salem and Scottsburg, heavy rain. It is coming down like crazy between Charlestown and Sellersburg and Henryville. Maybe a little hail involved there. The storm has expanded south into St. Matthews, into the Barbara Meade area near the Highlands. So coming down to the Ohio River now, and very heavy rainfall, tropical rains lining up along and north of Interstate 64 there in northern Harrison County around the Milltown area over to near English, right on Interstate 64 there in northern Perry County and southern Crawford County. And we got a storm there near Jasper. Big thunderstorm still continues over Orange County, Paoli down to the Milltown area. Salem's got a downpour there.
Georgetown
so far,
starting to get in on
so
this
good
too.
as keeping these just as severe thunderstorm and not tornado warnings. That's kind of one of the silver linings so far.
Looks like we just got a new severe thunderstorm
radar
warning.
Yeah, that's going to drop south out of Clark County that you see right here and include parts of northeastern metro. That's that expanding area of that thunderstorm we were just showing you. So that is moving to the east southeast around 38 miles per hour, 3/4 inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds. That includes New Albany and Sellersburg. They're around 265 over the East Denton Bridge into Prospect is where that severe thunderstorm warning covers right there. And let me click off that and bring up the future radar here for you. So we'll go back to the HRRR weather model, which is probably updated since the last time we checked it. It is now coming up to 3 p.m. So let's take a look at how it is handling the situation. And not very good at 3 p.m. It's a little bit behind there on that one. Let's take a look at 4.
Story of our lives here,
that's
Ben.
Funny. The updated HRRR is horrible.
Worse than it was before because it started getting on track.
Yeah. It's like an hour behind now. That's crazy. Let's take a look at the NAM 3-kilometer weather model.
The NAM has been awful.
So let's take a look at this. That's Better. That's the NAM 3 kilometer at 3 o'clock. That's kind of where we have the storms right now, actually. Starting to move into Kentucky. This is 4 o'clock. So that might actually be a lot better, the latest NAM that updated. And then this is at 5 p.m.
Finally beginning to initialize.
So there you go. This is the future radar right here. This is time now, what we have happening in a county or two north of the Ohio River over southern Indiana and starting to move into Kentucky. And then in an hour, you can see that it's basically south of Indiana into Kentucky through Louisville. And then in a couple of hours, moving south of Louisville towards the Bluegrass and Western Kentucky Parkways, and then making its way farther to the south after that. So this is going to be wrapping up not too far off here for southern Indiana and even Louisville as well.
Ben, do you still have Slack pulled up?
I do.
Yeah, Kevin was just pointing out kind of what we've already been talking about, the two obvious surges of likely damaging winds to 60 miles per hour. So likely going to end up being verified, one approaching Sellersburg and another up in Scottsburg. And that was just a few minutes ago. They may have already issued that new warning. Oh, that's probably that large one that they just issued for those folks. But unfortunately, we're probably going to see quite a few damage reports, especially just the trees down. So far, just one coming in, but of course it takes until after the storm moves past to really get a scope of any sort of damage that's pushing on through. But I'm not seeing a whole lot of, if any, power outages just yet. And again,
and probably a lot of power outages as well. And too.
Yep, trying to pull that up. Now my internet's being just a little bit slow. Let's see here.
I know. Monitor your internet. And look at this blob. It is crazy.
It's nasty.
Let me, you guys. I'm gonna get our cameras out of the way. This thing is turned into a big blob of lightning factory. There might be flooding. And
it might just be me, but I'm having a little bit of trouble hearing you, Ben. It's very, very choppy, but it could be on my end.
That's crazy. It's really expanded as predicted. I mean, we started when there were just a couple of cells on the radar, and now we've got just
oh, I was afraid that would happen. Okay, I think we may have lost Ben again. I don't know if you guys, I didn't know if it was on my end or his, because the storms are now, the worst of the storms are now approaching my location, and I've seen it get quite dark. I'm looking at a window right here, window right kind of behind me. I have blackout curtains, but I open them up a little bit so I can see what's going on. No rain here just yet, but was kind of thinking maybe it's on my end, but he was sounding just a little choppy, but he's back. I didn't know if it was a me problem or you.
I guess both, maybe. I don't know.
It probably is. We're not too far from each other here in southern Indiana.
I just think the lightning is crazy.
It hasn't gotten too bad here. It's gotten dark. I'm not seeing any rain whatsoever. So kind of checking on that as we take a live view at the radar. And
oh, I kind of like that view.
Shoot,
which one was that?
But again, it doesn't take much just for those power outages and a couple of downed trees. So that's right now I'm seeing 2 reports across Clark County of power outages.
Not too bad. Yeah.
Not bad.
Abby, I'm bouncing in and out here with the power outages. Mary says it's pouring down in New Albany. And Don, rain just started in Valley Station. Gregory Martin, with calm before the storm. Debbie saying dark in Clarksville, lots of thunder, some rain, not too much. not much wind, crazy humidity. Alice Young, you're very welcome. And Perry Park, Kentucky Thunder and Lightning. Lots of wind and rain in Charlestown. And we needed the rain in the house at North Vernon. Always seems to miss Janet Berry. And Beverly saying the weather radio going off again. That was about 6 minutes ago. Just looking at some of the comments we're getting. Thunderstorms with Donna Cahill in Georgetown, Indiana. Thank you for that report right there.
That's my grandma.
And oh, nice. Sweet.
Yeah, she was
asking.
asking.
See that rain dropping over.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Grandma, you were asking for the rain. You got it. You didn't ask for the storms, but you're at least getting a little bit of that rain. My mom also
Big
tuning
rain.
in from Borden. Mom, I'm glad you still have power. Ben's had a little power flash from time to time in the Borden area as well. But lots of thunder.
In and out here.
Lots of thunder and lightning. I just hear thunder around here. It doesn't sound like it's anywhere close to my house, but finally starting to see some of that rain. So I'm sure I'll see some lightning flashes here shortly.
So starting to cross the river here at 3 o'clock on your July 21st, active Tuesday afternoon. Severe thunderstorm watch goes until 10 p.m. That'll be canceled a lot earlier for Southern Indiana, as Southern Indiana is where the storms are firing up first, and these storms are going to continue to drop to the south. We have one large severe thunderstorm warning that covers much of Clark County east of I-65, and then south as well, that crosses over the river into the Prospect area right there at the Snyder and I-71.
Ben, I believe that's a new
Sellersburg
tornado warning well off to our east that was just issued.
Yep, it is here in the Owen County area. This is a tornado warning until 3:45, moving southeast at 32 miles per hour. So if you're a little bit outside of our area and you say you're around Carrollton, just east of Carrollton, it looks like is where this, and it's also in far eastern Carroll County, up I-71 to the northeast of Campbellsburg is where there's the potential of some rotation. Just to the south of VV is where there would be some of this rotation. That is a close tornado warning, but outside what we typically call our viewing area here.
Yes. So we just got. I'm looking at Slack right now, Ben, and sirens sounding in Madison, Indiana. So that's probably just too close for comfort that they're hearing that, I suppose, because it looks like that warning is out of their area.
Yeah, just to give you the all clear,
but they're still
Madison,
hearing
it is southeast of you. Yeah, well southeast of you, and in fact, it's east of Carrollton, Kentucky.
Also, just a heads up, the National Weather Service is drawing up a large severe warning right now for the storms in eastern Floyd County through Crawford and Perry. Congealing a little bit more into line now as we were talking about, but they're going to go ahead and put a larger warning across it, so we don't have just
it's huge.
There we are. Yeah, he said it was going to be larger, so there it is. Yeah, I mean that makes a lot more sense instead of having all of those smaller polygons as those storms begin to kind of come together.
Congealing, as we're kind of talking about earlier, really kind of growing into each other, and there could be just pockets of some localized damaging winds in this. Also, just continuous cloud to ground lightning strikes, torrential rain, some ponding of water on the roadways. So this is around Georgetown, out toward Corydon, Leavenworth, northeastern Perry County. This does include portions of Louisville and New Albany. There you can see that whole entire area right there down Interstate 64. So if you can't see too well, this is downtown Louisville right here. This is all the warned area. Here's Georgetown, New Albany, and the Knobs. And you're going out west towards Corydon right here. And then here's Carefree exit and the Leavenworth exit right there. So, and this will be dropping down through Harrison County and Metro Louisville, Jefferson County, Kentucky over the next half hour. Potentially some damaging wind gusts.
Yep. So now I'm in that severe thunderstorm warning. Again,
Yep.
the at this point the thunder is not incredibly loud, just having some rain outside. It's not awful here in the knobs just yet. So I'm kind of trying to scan the radar. Take a look. Around New Albany, definitely some heavy downpours there.
And we were talking about, sorry, points. 82 dew point Fort Knox, 84. So this is as tropical as the air could possibly get. 84 dew point, 82 dew point. And storm tops that have been up around 60,000 feet. Even more tropical than Florida and the Gulf Coast right now. This front has been pooling up the moisture as it's been moving into our area.
Ben, so another report. Oh, I think we're both cutting out because we're both going through the storms. But if you can hear me, 3 trees down on a Perry Crossing Road, very populated area. So that's right around Covered Bridge.
There, Covered Bridge.
Trying to see if I can get any photos.
Trees down in Clark County. The hail's not looking as bad as this has become just like a downburst wind, lightning situation. But incredible amount of rain. Yeah. It's the only way to describe it, really. And a very large severe thunderstorm warning all the way from Perry County, Indiana, through Harrison, Floyd, Southern Clark, Eastern Clark, parts of Jefferson County, Indiana, and Kentucky. And the tornado warning is east of Carrollton, Kentucky, in Owen County. And the other tornado warning is southeast of Cincinnati. Let me get.
So just in case,
colors going on.
Yeah, it's a lot of colors, but just in case you are hearing it in Madison, as we just got a report of that, you are not included in that tornado warning. But we're being told that you can still hear the sirens going off. But just so you know, in fact, as I look a little closer to Madison, it looks like the storms are either off to your northeast or off to your south. Not a whole lot going on in Madison proper as we speak. Which is just north of the Ohio. My mom says, so far, so good here. Yep, just pouring rain in Borden, lots of thunder. John says, thank you, wind picking up in Highview, but no rain yet. Eventually. Oh no, I think we may have lost Ben again. He's just coming in and out, but that's fine. He's probably resetting all of his power, rebooting it, as we all need to from time to time when we have these thunderstorms coming through. I know I lose power pretty frequently whenever storms come through, but it looks like actually the worst is missing my exact location. He's trying to join back in. But we do have a question from Wayne here. It is 3:10. He's asking, hey, Ben's back. Glad to have you here, Ben. We just had a question from Wayne. Oh. All right. I see you. Can you hear me?
Yep, I gotcha.
Okay. We're just answering a question from Wayne.
Be going through Bardstown a little bit later this evening. I'd say 5 o'clock.
Yeah. So going golfing at 3:30.
Again, this has become a lightning factory.
I'd say, I mean, I don't know how long, Ben, you know this better than me. how long it takes to golf. I don't know. So if he's going at 3:30,
Golf crew
storm's
going out
not
at
arriving
3:30.
till
I mean,
5.
it might be arriving, yeah, you might be getting toward the end of the 9 holes or something like that. It's going to be heading your. There's probably going to be a lightning delay because there's so much lightning in here. This is the big story. There's going to be some winds, but I mean, if you just look at the concentration of this lightning, it is really incredible. And there's going to be power outages because of this lightning, and of course, the course is not going to let golf go on when there's lightning like this. Even it could be 10 miles to have a lightning delay on the golf course. But I mean, we're talking thousands of lightning strikes, and these are live lightning strikes.
Better be safe than
on
sorry. That's for sure.
extolmag.com/weather. And we know we are glitchy here.
That's why we keep talking over each other, because I think there's a little bit of a delay.
And we were checking that out just a second ago.
So let's
see.
For
sure.
Flood advisory has now been issued for Louisville, Jeffersontown, so J-Town, St. Matthews, Shively, Linden, Middletown, Douglas Hills, and Prospect area. All right, that's just in from the National Weather Service. That flood advisory is in effect until 6:15 this evening because of the torrential rain that many of us are seeing this afternoon.
There is a ton of it.
And now I think
there it is, dropping closer to the Ohio River.
Right. Yep. I think I'm getting a little taste of what you had there, Ben. Torrential rain outside right now. My poor chickens.
Yeah, you're kind of in and out a little bit as well. And I don't know if it's on yours or my end. But either way, we are tracking the severe weather here for you. And there you can see it is coming down like cats and dogs. A gully washer, a toad strangler over New Albany, down to Shively, St. Matthews, Prospect, Georgetown, Crandall. Counties along the Ohio River are getting in on the very heavy rainfall. We have severe thunderstorm warnings ongoing for counties along the Ohio River in Indiana, and also just clipping portions of Louisville right now. And look at the rain expanding, the blob expanding over Crestwood and much of Oldham County. This is all dropping to the southeast. The earlier weather models that we're looking at were probably pretty much right on it when we were starting our show, showing how the storms would be expanding and blossoming and kind of congealing together, and pretty large area of a cluster of thunderstorms that goes way up to the northeast as well, all along a late spring-like system that's going to bring in that relief for tomorrow. You're going to be like, oh my goodness, how good it's going to feel. You're going to like the way it's going to feel tomorrow, no doubt about that. Donna saying bad lightning here.
And she's in Georgetown.
John says don't step on a poodle since it's raining cats and dogs.
There's about actually over 60 without power right now across Clark County REMC. If you can hear me okay.
Okay. Yep.
And so those numbers are growing.
Thunderstorm warning. Looks like we'll have a new warning out for Oldham County that'll pop on here shortly.
Oh, yep, there it is. That's a pretty large one too. They're kind of getting ahead of the track as it pushes on off to the southeast. Looks like it's moving about 38 miles per hour. Now, this one does have a tornado possible tag on it, Ben.
Mm-hmm.
So that might also be why they kind of stretched it out, including the Shelbyville area. Mount Washington looks like you're kind of right there on the edge. Taylorsville. also right there on that southeastern edge.
Yeah, yours picked it up more quickly. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep your radar up here, Christina.
Oh,
Go ahead and go over that one more
yeah.
time.
Well, yeah, at least thankfully it's for right now, at least I still have power, but it doesn't take much for us. If you live in Floyd County, you know that it's fairly easy for us to lose power in a thunderstorm. But the newest severe thunderstorm warning, including portions of J-Town, so we're talking basically off to the east of 65 there around Jefferson County, Kentucky, but also including you folks around Shelbyville and just on the edge right there in Mount Washington. Taylorsville also included on this, and there is a tornado possible tag on it. So we will try to pull up the velocity and kind of get a little better feel of where any possible rotation is happening. But at this point, just moving off to the southeast, around 38 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gusts, and hail size sub-severe, but still dealing with just a few smaller little hailstones there.
So almost all the storms are kind of warned here, all the way from Ferdinand, Indiana, along the river, through Leavenworth, along Interstate 64, into Metro Louisville. As you mentioned, the east end of Louisville into Spencer and Shelby counties, into Crestwood, Prospect, because there could be some kind of microburst winds. If a portion of the storm collapses, it would be winds in excess of 60 miles per hour. You're also getting just frequent cloud to ground nonstop lightning in a lot of this as well. So I would say in about an hour, this will all be out of Indiana. And then the severe thunderstorm watch will be gone for southern Indiana. And then this will all become a Kentucky thing. On the western flank of this, the storms are not as strong as the National Weather Service the Storm Prediction Center was saying earlier out here to the west. So this will continue to track like that. So eventually Bardstown, Elizabethtown over the next 1 to 2 hours. Heads up for you guys as this cluster moves your direction. Hail not as big of an issue as I saw earlier when these were more like a discrete, more like supercell structures. Now it's just kind of blobbed together, and so more real heavy rain, frequent lightning, and maybe some localized damaging wind gusts. Not seeing as large of hail here over the last half hour.
Beverly just getting a notification of a flood advisory. I did as well. I guess radar estimates around 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches. With, again, we're obviously still seeing the storm, so a little bit more on the way. That includes New Albany, which I believe, Bev, you were tuning in from New Albany, if I'm not mistaken, Clarksville, Charlestown, Sellersburg, Galena, Owen, Borden. Until 6:15 this evening.
I'm just
so portions of Clark and Floyd.
Over the next 20 minutes or so, it's the storm moving through River Bluff, Prospect, Goshen, Orchard, Grass Hills, Park Lake, Pee Wee Valley, Crestwood, Eminence, Shelbyville, Pleasureville. A lot of you are already getting a lot of this heavy rain, lightning, and thunder in those areas. Just wanted to pop that up there for you. And downtown Louisville, stretching down to the airport, getting in on that really heavy rainfall and a tremendous amount of lightning as well. St. Matthews to Douglas Hills to Barber Mead, Prospect, Crestwood, all beginning to move through the metro area now as this continues to slip south of Clark County. And then you still have heavy rainfall around Georgetown, Lanesville, Crandall. Want to get these storms in and out so they don't sit and just dump too much rain. So localized flooding going to be possible, as Christina was mentioning and Beverly was mentioning, that there are some flood advisories out across the area now. Beverly Haggist saying, I got 1 inch of rain so far there in Borden. Lori saying, when is this hitting New Albany? Lori, it's hitting New Albany right now. Like, it's on top of New Albany.
Yeah, probably
So
have a
Lori,
little bit more time to deal with it, but it's been in New Albany for maybe the last 30 minutes or so, but looks like there's some clearing as we're looking a little bit farther to the north of New Albany.
so there's a severe
So it
thunderstorm
won't
warning out
last too
for New
long.
Albany. There's torrential rain in New Albany. There's frequent lightning in New Albany. So it's hitting New Albany right now. It'll be clearing out of New Albany next half hour or so, I'd say. There are little
Yeah.
stragglers here up to the north that are not severe, like up towards Charlestown, arcing around to Henryville, and then a straggler here just south of Paoli, southeastern Orange County. But the main event is along the Ohio River right now for the most part. It's starting to move south.
Yeah, so I mean, we'll see how it's interacting with this untapped atmosphere as it's moving into Kentucky now, which we all know it's been incredibly humid, and the storms just exploded here in southern Indiana. It did not take any time at all. Once those storms started popping off, they really started to blossom, to expand, and they're eventually going to kind of all come together and create a little bit of a distorted line, but a line nonetheless, as Ben showing you guys that radar scan over the last several minutes or so. You can tell we're starting to become a little bit more widespread, but not lasting long. So you don't see a whole lot of stuff trailing behind those storms, which is a good thing when it comes to that flash flooding potential.
And this is the main event. Once this moves through, we're not expecting any more severe weather, so that's good. And Orleans saying, I'm seeing the sky get darker in Hodgenville, but not seeing anything on the radar. Yeah, it's still well north of you in Hodgenville. In fact, we can do the distance tool. And there you can see that the storm is still 40 miles northwest of you, moving southeast at around 35 to 40. So probably hour and a half before some of this could be impacting your area there in LaRue County. But definitely moving
Ben,
through Metro Louisville.
I'm just taking a few notes of the different LSRs, the storm reports of damage that we've received, and I'll read them off here in just a moment.
Perfect. Yeah, a lot of tree down reports. This is what we're expecting. Scattered power outages from frequent cloud to ground lightning strikes, likely striking transformers and power stations. And you're also getting trees down on the power lines scattered about the area, likely from down what we call kind of microburst or downburst winds in this tropical nature. There'll just be collapsing portions of the storms, and you're going to get some localized damaging wind gusts out of that. Thankfully, we haven't had much rotation, so we haven't had any tornado warnings in our area yet. There's the one up to the northeast that's been over Owen County so far. I'm going to bring on the reflectivity real quick. I'm going to hit the live view instead of the loop view of the radar, and see if we can't just bring up some velocity mode here and see if we see some stronger winds. When we get this to turn to blue, that's usually getting up in the near 50-mile-an-hour winds. That's moving around the Floyd Harrison County line and going to be moving towards PRP with looks like some really gusty winds here. That's going to be crossing the river from Lanesville over to PRP and Valley Station. So it heads up there. Looks like there's kind of a little enhancement of some of the strong winds in that area, and also portions of Harrison County just south of Corden. Looks like some pretty strong winds there. 50-mile-an-hour winds north of the Alton area. I'm going to do storm relative.
Can you hear any of that thunder from my house?
No, I didn't. The mics are too
my
good.
windows aren't the best, so I'm surprised. Let's see.
So it's not going to take long, guys, for southern Indiana to settle down. Like the farthest north storm now is over Charlestown, and then here around Hardinsburg. And the severe thunderstorm warnings are kind of bumping up to the Ohio River and beyond, as there is a severe thunderstorm warning over much of the eastern half of Metro Louisville, including J-Town and Linden and Crestwood, and that stretches into Spencer and Shelby counties and southern Oldham County. Not a warning, but you in Henry County and in southern Trimble County, you just have a bunch of heavy rainfall here around Campbellsville, Newcastle, and Eminence. Some good old healthy downpours, no doubt about that. And we're going to continue to see this line. This, thankfully, I'm not going to say it's been behaving, Christina, because I know you're adding up some damage reports, but
It could have been worse. Yep. It absolutely could have been worse. Obviously, we don't like to see any sort of damage whatsoever, but with the way that our setup was for this afternoon, it certainly looks like we could have maybe, and I'm not trying to jinx us, but a couple isolated tornadoes, a lot more damage being reported. And I know that the whole situation is not over yet, but so far, not seeing any injury reports, again, knock on wood, but looks like a lot of just trees down. I'll read off here what we have received so far as our damage reports. Several large trees down around the Goshen, Kentucky area, working on trying to find out that exact location there. I know my mom, she has 2 horses in that area. So Mom, I'll work to find out if it's near the barn. Sparking on utility poles there in Du Bois County, tree blocking road around Honey Run Road in Pekin, Indiana. Oldham County, there's some trees and power lines down around forgive me if I mispronounce this, it's spelled Reading Road, but it might very well be pronounced Reading Road. And then around County Road 403 there in Sellersburg, 3 large trees down. I believe it said they were blocking the road as well.
And a new severe thunderstorm warning, which is a very large warning that includes eastern Breckenridge, Meade County, all of Meade County, northern Hardin County, that includes Radcliffe and Fort Knox. This includes the rest of Harrison County, the rest of Jefferson County, Kentucky. So all of Louisville is under a severe thunderstorm warning. That includes most of Bullitt County and far northern Nelson County. This is for up to 1-inch size hail, 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts. We have a history of now some tree damage reports, as Christina was just talking to us about. And so that's why we now have a very large severe thunderstorm warning that includes Brandenburg and Radcliffe,
That is
and
huge.
Fort Knox and Valley Station and PRP, and areas east of Hardinsburg. That also includes Taylorsville and the rest of Metro Louisville and Crestwood and Shelbyville. So almost this entire line is being warned for the potential of damaging wind gusts as it starts to move out of Indiana and into Kentucky at 3:30. So ahead of my original schedule of around 4 to 5 p.m. I mean, it's not out of Indiana completely yet, but you can see the trend here.
Certainly on its way out. So that's
there's
good
also
news
a little
for
rotation.
the Hoosiers.
Check this out, Christina. So look here around Shively, PRP near the airport. Just something to watch. There's a little bit of spin right there, kind of broad rotation.
Yep.
Not something you necessarily want to see with a strong thunderstorm. So just something to keep an eye on. Some of these severe thunderstorm warnings have a tag that says tornado possible. So it's not a tornado warning necessarily, but it just says, hey, tornado is still potentially possible. So just stay inside.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, stay inside regardless, especially with the stronger wind that's moving through with these. I know we've seen the hail not be super impressive as it's crossed the Ohio here, but still a possibility. So just stay inside till it passes. It's not going to be lasting all evening. Thank goodness.
So still some strong winds, maybe around 50 miles per hour, starting to head towards PRP and Shively coming out of Harrison County. So be wary of that. There's kind of a strong little enhancement there right here. that area moving to the southeast. So kind of between Shively, PRP, heads up, you got some strong winds there soon. If not now.
Yeah, it's approaching their
That
location
leading edge.
certainly. Gosh, Ben, are you able to put this on a maybe like a 2-hour loop where you can see really how these storms started to pop
Yeah.
up and how they
Let's do the RadSat here, and let me get rid of the watch. Let me clean this up just a little bit. And I want a better satellite and radar real quick. Just do visible.
Yeah, it's just wild the way that I know that it was quiet and we started to see just a couple little cells popping up on the radar, and we're like, hey, here it comes. It's once they get going, they're really going to start to expand. So it's pretty impressive to watch. Let's see
Oh,
here.
we got LSRs on here too. We can check out in just a second.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, seems like mostly some power lines down, or sorry, mostly trees down. There it is.
So let me go full screen. You can see that how these were kind of individual cells originally, right when we popped on here. I don't know, a little over 1 p.m. And sorry, I was looking at
right around Greensburg, Bloomington.
Expanded.
Yeah. Vincennes, like as soon as it started to enter our area, especially around Seymour, that's when you can see it just really begin to come into fruition, to blossom.
And then I'm going to bring back up the storm reports here. This is what we've seen. So near Austin, a little bit earlier, there were several trees down, Crothersville area, I should say, and just south of Jasper. Tree debris blocking a roadway. Lots of stuff around Clark County. You've already mentioned a lot of this. Pekin, trees down, State Road 335, East Elmer Martin Road. Large tree blocking the runway at Honey Run Road.
Honey Run
Trees
Road.
down at Perry Crossing, at Covered Bridge. Spent a lot of time there the last couple of days. Trees down off 403 in Sellersburg. So Sellersburg, a little activity there. Trees down over the North Highway with 1793 in Settlers Point. Trail wires down that in Goshen and Oldham County. So just some of the reports that Christina was mentioning a little bit earlier, as well as the storm moving across the Ohio River and starting to move into Kentucky. I'm getting some of the tail end of this system with some more rain here. Flood advisory.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I feel
severe thunderstorm watch for Kentucky until 10 p.m. Going to end earlier for Indiana as the storm begins to move out of southern Indiana very soon.
And unfortunately, we'll start to see some of those power outages, perhaps some trees down across Jefferson County as those storms are now pushing into the Kentucky side of the river here. But of course, it takes time. It takes until the storm actually passes through your area for more of those storm reports to come in, but not something we like to see, but again, could certainly be worse.
And this is kind of a general area, Christina, where the storm's going to be heading, if not already in your area. Of course, you already know it's in Louisville and Shively, PRP, Valley Station, Newburgh, Okolona, Hillview, Mount Washington, Fort Knox, Radcliffe here over the next, 15 minutes, half hour, something like that.
Yeah. Ben, sorry if you already mentioned this, but flood advisory going out for Oldham and Shelby as well, because of just all of the moisture that's coming down with all of the storms. So that you guys are included in that advisory.
So New Albany, it's still raining really good in your area. Down along 64 and 265. I've got this little little nub there that's on Highway 60. That's on the very tail end of everything. But you look at this. Almost all of Jefferson County, Kentucky, almost all of Metro Louisville is dealing with some heavy, heavy rainfall, some blinding rain,
Extremely.
ponding of water, and that cruises down 64 into Shelby County. And then over in Harrison County, it's still coming down very well. We got one more straggler going to move over 64 and impact parts of Corridon. You can see that just north of you guys in the new Middletown. Over into Meade County is where you have some heavy rain as well.
My grandma's tuning in.
2
She
inches of
said
rainfall,
she's,
yeah.
yep, 2 inches of rain there in Georgetown. I believe it. And that was forecasted. Widespread 1 to 2 inches of rain were never off the table. And even a few folks likely seeing even more than that. So I look forward to seeing some of those radar estimates as well.
And I guess it would depend on what part of New Albany, because I think there's still some rain over parts of New Albany, as Mary said. It had stopped raining in New Albany. I guess it just kind of depends on your location.
Here, Ben, I'm going
Let me
to add this to our stage.
But outside cam too.
Yeah, well, here we go. If I can. Oh, sorry. Still learning here, Ben. You'll have to help me out.
Happy. It's been.
There's live view from Jeff, where it's still, of course,
I'm just bringing up a camera view.
Very dark. Oh, do you see all the lightning strikes though?
That's a good shot.
Yeah. Several lightning strikes. I've just kind of had this pulled up on the side view.
And then we got this one as well.
Here, I can remove mine.
You're good.
Oh, wow.
And then there's this one. With some blinding rain there over the Clarksville and New Albany waterfront. This one typically moves around. There it goes. Kind of moving around. There you can see visibility not great when you get caught under these storms. And then you can also go to cityofnewalbany.com and see how long this takes to pop up here. And just cruise down and go to the view of the riverfront. Usually loads up pretty quickly. Hey, if you found any value to what you've been seeing here for the last couple of hours or so, we appreciate your support. Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff.
We appreciate it.
My computer's been through the ringer, so it's taking a little bit longer than normal to load some of these things up.
Trying to see if mine would be faster, but apparently it's not.
At 6 o'clock.
Coming up, but this was definitely, has been the main event of the week, where we're in the clear. After we get through tonight, it's going to be feeling really nice, at least by late July standards across the area. So something to look forward to after all of these storms.
Yep. And this event is wrapping up here, Christina, for Southern Indiana as this is beginning to move into Kentucky. Basically out of southern Harrison County and into Meade and Bullitt and northern Hardin County. Heavy rain over Metro Louisville. Thankfully, no tornado warnings in our immediate area. And that is it. That's going to be the edge of the cold front that's going to bring in the refreshing air for our area. And Mary, yeah, just on the north side of 265 there near the Meyer. So you're on the northern side of that. Downtown was still getting some of that heavy rainfall is what we're talking about there. So, yeah, you've got the northern side of New Albany drying out. Jeff in downtown New Albany is still a bit wet, and very heavy rainfall is still coming down from downtown Louisville to Shively to PRP to Audubon Park into the Minor Lane Heights area around the airport, Newburgh, Buchel, J-Town, Douglas Hills and Anchorage and Simpsonville and over to Shelbyville. You all are getting some heavy rainfall there. And it might be a while before we get rain again because of the nice weather that is on the way. Let's see if my computer is happy yet. No, it's not. It doesn't want to
Well,
load this up whatsoever. right.
Ben, what I found very interesting, and I've had a lot of questions about this as well regarding the patchy smoke that we've had from the wildfires kind of coming into our area. I've had a lot of
Mhm.
questions about folks asking, hey, obviously the rain normally helps to wash it out, but in this scenario, as our winds are going to be shifting, I believe, to the northeast tonight and tomorrow in the wake of that cold front.
Yeah, I think the cold front will clear it out, but there could. I think there could be some dust particles in some of this rain. Because I was looking at the smoke product from the HRRR weather model, and along this front, it had smoke coming with it. And we had some dirty rain like this last year. Not sure if that'll happen, but it's possible.
Yeah, I found that interesting. The dirty rain that unfortunately we have to deal with. Geez,
Donna says 75 degrees now. Yeah.
she's happy about that. Ben, take a look at my screen now too. We were just showing this maybe what two minutes ago. Oh, okay, here we go. And we had a somewhat clear view. And again, this is the Jeffersonville camera.
Yeah,
right there,
right
there on YouTube. Not seeing much of anything, just very little view of the Clark Memorial Bridge. There, as we're looking off into the
very
distance.
heavy rain right along the river.
Yeah, so I just typed in skylinewebcams.com here to be able to pull that up.
That's a cool view from Jeff.
It sure is. Let me remove that.
And then if we bring this back up, you can see what we were looking at there again from the Jeffersonville camera. It's just a bunch of heavy rain looking towards downtown. Localized damaging wind gusts possible for Louisville for areas under the severe thunderstorm warnings that continue for 47 more minutes for the left side. The right side there for Shelby and Eastern Jefferson County and Spencer County goes for 16 more minutes. But Christina, I know you got a show to get ready for, and this is beginning to move out of southern Indiana. And so I do think that severe thunderstorm watch is going to wrap up here for Indiana areas here pretty soon. Just trying to bring up our two box. Again, my computer's being super slow.
Yeah, no, it's working. It's okay. I can see you. I can see you. Yep. So I am going to start getting ready for my show.
Two box.
It's up. Can you see there? Oh yeah. Okay. I know we've had a little bit of power issues.
There, I see it.
Yeah. Okay. I was staring at your face. I could see it. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and probably hop off here. Of course, yeah. For not just for us, but for, of course, probably most of the folks across Southern Indiana. I want to make sure that I can reboot everything so I can still go on the Christina cast here at 6 o'clock and have a nice little recap for everybody of what we dealt with today. And of course, where the storms will currently be at 6 o'clock. And so I'll start prepping for that. But Ben, it's I won't say it's been fun, but I'm glad that we've been able to kind of tag team this together and keep folks informed. If you can hear me, we may be pausing a little bit. Oh, okay. It was whoever said that you were a little glitchy.
So
you're being a little glitchy now.
Christina cast.
What did you say?
I know, and you were too. So I think it's on both sides. But so just tune into Christina cast. I'm going to hop off here as well.
Everyone, thank you so much for joining us here this evening. I will have a full recap of all of the events that happened today. I'll go ahead and show you all of our local storm reports, especially across Southern Indiana, that we've unfortunately had over the last 2 hours, as well as any not storm reports, but power outages that we may potentially still be dealing with. The Christina cast comes up here in 2 hours and 14 minutes. And I hope you join me then. Please feel free to message or comment on here further. Either me or meteorologist Ben Peine will be taking a look at it. And we hope you stay safe and have a wonderful night. And I hope to see you here at 6 p.m. on the Christina Cast. You can watch either on my Facebook page at Christina Sanjuan, Extol Weather, Extol Media, or Extol Media Sew-In on YouTube. Have a great night. And again, stay safe, and we'll be keeping you updated. Bye-bye.